Welcome to the Blitz Show, brought to you by Covers, where Derek Carty and his Blitz projections look to pick off the best plus EV plays for every primetime game. Coming off a 5-1 week 4, plays perfect 4-0 plus 4 units on the season, 28% ROI on the plays. Both plays and links together have been profitable, but enough of that. We got Thursday night football, Bears, Commanders. 6.5 went to 7. 7 was a fake, went back down to 6.5. Now down to 5.5. Total also has moved from 42.5 to 44.5. Looking at injuries before we get to the plays, Dotson and Samuel were both limited on Tuesday, which was an upgrade from the walkthrough on Monday. And then the issues to the secondary in Chicago with Eddie Jackson starting free safety and Jalen Johnson starting corner, who's their best coverage or cornerback. He was DNP. They were inactive. Not looking great for those two and the Chicago secondary. Getting to the plays, we got leans, we got plays. Derek has more confidence in the plays, and that's where we start. Antonio Gibson, under 22.5 rushing yards, minus 110. This is a play. Robinson's getting all the carries, 82% in the backfield. Gibson is getting snaps, but they're certainly not on running plays. He also has just more than 3 carries in just once over the 4 games this year. Eric Bieniemy's offense is certainly pass heavy.
Yeah, it's resembling a lot of what we saw in Kansas City, which I guess shouldn't be a surprise. Kansas City's been one of the most pass heavy offenses for years. And this year, Washington has been the 3rd most pass heavy offense in a neutral context. So this is not an offense that is built on running the ball. This is not a spot where we should necessarily see them leaning heavily on the run. They're a favorite, yeah, but not a huge favorite. And this is a team that wants to pass the ball to begin with. Whatever rushing volume we do see, like you said, Gibson has been a very, very small part of this. Brian Robinson has been getting most of the work on the ground. And you would even expect, okay, Gibson's not even going to be on the field quite as much when they're playing from ahead. That's more of a game script that would favor Robinson on the field as opposed to trailing, where Gibson's maybe on the field trying to, be involved in the pass game to try to catch up. So there's a lot kind of working against him here. This is the 2nd slowest pace game of the entire week, according to the Blitz. So just play volume in general should be down. And this line looks off. The Blitz is projecting about 16 here. We're looking at 22.5 at good odds. This projects to win over 70% of the time. And so this one's a play.
All right. Gibson under 22.5 rushing yards, minus 110. I think you mentioned, obviously, the pass heavy Commanders. I think Dotson, Samuel, and Scary Terry McLaurin, I think each of those guys has like a 20% 20% target share. Those guys have been getting peppered. So, and they love to run Brian Robinson, who's still like a 4.1, 4.2 yards per carry back, who, when you see your backs come out, it's usually after long runs of tired, and Brian Robinson isn't a explosive running back. So there's another way to keep him in the field. The next play, we're seeing this market move up. It's a play I released earlier in the week too. Always happy to be on the same side as the Blitz. Sam Howell, over 13.5 rushing yards, minus 109. This is a lean. Sam Howell has 11 carries, all scrambles for 82 yards and a score. He had 40 on the ground last week. I'm sure the only thing keeping this away from a play is the lack of designed runs for Sam Howell. But this is a guy who leads the league in sacks taken with 24, and he's out there running for his life, turning things in. What are the projections here for Howell? And let me just tell you, Derek, 25 plus yards, plus 225, and even the 50 plus rushing yards for plus 1225 have certainly crossed my mind.
Yeah, I definitely like those at those odds because there's definitely a lot of upside here for Howell. The Blitz is projecting double the standard line here, 12.5 lines across the board. The Blitz is projecting just a little under 25. This is a quarterback who, yeah, he hasn't gotten any designed runs yet, but you'd have to think that those are coming. And even if they don't, this is a spot where he's going to be scrambling. Like, this is a guy who profiles as that type of quarterback, has some speed, has some athleticism, should be scrambling at the very least. Like you said, the thing holding it back from being a play is the lack of designed runs, is this kind of game script and game pace situation. Not ideal, but when you run the math on it, this still looks like a pretty dang solid play.
I think that his number here, the 13 and a half or even the 12 and a half, is too priced into the game script here. If this
Yes.
game script goes neutral, you are getting a gem. Like if Washington's playing any catch up mode at any time in the game, you're looking at a certain edge on this 13 and a half. And we saw this number at 17 and a half, I believe, in week 2, which is kind of where it should be. It should be on the higher end of the teens as opposed to the 12 and 13 and a half. So it's reserved for guys just, I don't know, scrambling, trailing quarterbacks who don't run ever. Sam Howell, over 830 rushing yards in his junior year at UNC. There's a lot to like, and it might be something to look into the alt markets. But the Blitz has two things in this week, Thursday Night Football. Antonio Gibson under 22 and a half rushing yards, minus 110. That's a play. Sam Howell, over 13 and a half rushing yards, minus 109. That's a lean. There are some more expensive 12 and a halves out there, but I'm sure the Blitz is showing more value on the 13 and a half on the minus 109. So if you've been following Derek's picks and following the Blitz, you've been cashing plays. So let's keep cashing as we head into week 5. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Derek Carty. This is the Blitz Show brought to you by Covers. Hit that like, subscribe button if you want more free picks, free actions. We'll see you back here for Sunday night primetime football.